Let's go to control room. Hi world! I'll be HD in a few moments. Just wait. Let me go to the control room of this event and control it. Because we need control. Oh my god! Let me go in the room of this event and control it. Control that event. Oh my god. My voice was still good even without the mic, but okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. I think we're good to go. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Let me just go ahead and get a difference. Big difference between okay. Just fixing the camera so it's all nice and okay. All nice and okay. All nice and okay. All nice and okay. I just oh, I went to the control room and then I completely shut it off. Because sometimes things can get wild. Okay, let me just put this on HD and then we'll see the control room again. Again, I apologize for just things not being ideal. But I am getting into the flow of this thing, of the live talks, of notifying people on time. I have an issue with that. Yeah, just make sure that the link is right. I don't think I put the right link up, but no, it's good. Okay, it's good. We are good to go. What are we going to talk about today? World, my hair is not... Okay, what are we going to talk about today? Notes. So, this is a series of things to talk about focused on the ego transmuter, which is a tool that I've developed to turn your bad emotional experiences, the triggers when you, especially triggers when you're like heated in the moment, how you can turn that into actually a positive experience. And I was just talking in a discussion, commenting on someone's thingy on Instagram, and I was saying, no, unicorns are gonna take you up, they're not gonna take you down, something like that. And then the person was like, up and down are both good experiences, and it's like there are like gems at the bottom of the ocean and stuff like that. Awesome. But still, the like positivity, like talking positivity is something like that is really that I'm really passionate about. And I've learned I was the biggest skeptic about well, yeah, we should just like be cool, whatever, it's all good. But then I became so much like passionate about positivity and things that are going high and higher, because I learned that, or like for me, it's like things are inevitable. That's what I always say. Happenings are gonna happen. So since they're gonna happen anyway, why don't you choose to make it a good thing? And you know, not, I don't know. Anyway, so if it's kind of like I'm justifying here, why would I bother even diving deeper into my psyche? Why would I keep questioning things? Why would I keep trying to heal things? I mean, it's all good. Even if I'm like screwed up, it's all good. So yeah, no, I feel like healing and evolution are both so very intertwined, and it's healing, it's evolution. It's evolution is healing at the same time. Um, so there's this aspect of healing, and which is, neutralizing things back to the natural state of well-being. And then there's the evolution, which is building upon it, and also deepening. It's interesting, but deepening. And as the level of that neutrality rise, when you have like positive aspiration and stuff, you increase the level, if you would, of your neutrality itself. So the neutral state um, of things would be so much more, I don't know how to describe it, but it's evolution. It's evolution. It's used to be okay to just have, let's say, only a roof on your head, only in winter when you need it. And now it became like, it's not okay just to have like a regular house, like just four walls and just have a ceiling. That's kind of like so like simple. Like now you need a house. Like that's now the norm. The neutral level of being is you have your house, which has like at least 3, 4, 5 rooms, you know. And then maybe soon everyone will be living in mansions. It would be like normal to have like mansions. Everyone. Oh my God! Like you live in a house, or like you live in an apartment. That's not normal. You should totally invest in a mansion. You know, one day, each and every human on this earth, maybe. Um. So yeah. So I want to just emphasize that we need to always look for the best, and if we know that we have it in us to be better, to better ourselves, and to go beyond, and to deepen that healing, and to expand. That's what consciousness is about. Consciousness, the natural state of consciousness, is evolution and creativity. It never stops. It's eternal. So why am I doing this? Why am I doing these, events, these talks, and why am I talking about focusing on the ego transmuter? It's because I just want each and every person to have this tool ready for them, because it's a life changer. It's a life changer. I've been experiencing it in my own life. I've been experiencing a lot of benefits. I can't even begin to describe to you how magical this tool is, and I wish I could give it to each and every person on earth, and let them know that they have control over their emotions, and they can, if they want to, they can feel better. They can feel at least neutral, if not better. So that's my intention. My intention is for each and every person in this world to learn about their emotions, and to learn how to use them instead of the emotions using us. So yesterday I was talking about ego and emotions, and how emotions are very beautiful things to keep us in our our own core values, our own perspective in life. And how empathy also ties into the whole thing, which is empathy, being able to feel someone else exactly as you, and being able to include other people and beings also in your experience, and not feel separate from them, like being really connected with higher self. And the higher self is the collective consciousness, which is we are all one at that level. And so being able to vibrate and operate and live and be on that level is magical. It's just magical, and it changes everything. It changes everything. And I was talking about how you should really um, embrace that, embrace the fact that you are a um, you are someone who is who has that extrasensory empathic sense. It's a really a blessing because it's easy for you to connect to your higher self, to your true self, and so it's easy for you to receive guidance, to be creative, to just go into that, connect to that inner state of oneness and inner peace. And it's I said that that thing is precious, is that it's nothing in this world compares to that inner peace that you can reach. um, Today I'm going to talk about ego and the emotional intelligence. How does the ego transmuter can make us into an emotional intelligent beings? And if you don't know how, about the ego transmuter, go to the first video of this playlist of it's entitled number 12, and then ego transmuter tool, life tool. um, I'm gonna also repeat my explanation of that because the first video wasn't, I feel like, the flow was, I was just starting the live events, and I didn't have a full picture of how it's going to be. And so it's evolving every day, it's evolving. And today I'm going to talk about that. How does it how does it why does it matter for me to be aware of my ego and to take it and transmute it into a positive energy? And how does this make me an emotionally intelligent person? So to start with, um, I need to just explain to you, when I talk about ego, what do I mean? Because ego, the word ego, it refers to a lot of things in in different contexts and to different, teachings or and backgrounds. And so, um, yeah, that's weird. I don't know. Let me just check this thing. We have to announce to everyone. I'm trying. Yep. Okay. So, yeah. I'm checking my notes. I'm like, I lost my train of thought. Train, come back. What's wrong with that train? Oh, okay. It's on. Yeah. So, yeah, emotional intelligence and what ego means, and how what do I mean when I say ego? So, there are three things that come to mind when I say the word ego. First is the human pride, that just the pride that you feel like, I'm proud of myself. And when someone is like so full of themselves and so proud and so, like, uh, very much into who they are and what they've done in life, and um, they see, like, they build like this big mansion, big house, and they're like, this is me, this is my creation, that kind of pride. And so it's also tied to narcissism, which is a psychological, situation. And then there is the um, the ego in spirituality, which is the false perception of who you are and what you are relative to this life, and just in consciousness, just the false perception of um, the way that you think about yourself. And there's like a deeper thing to it. There's a deeper thing to this ego, which is at an emotional level. And I've explained yesterday the video. If you find the playlist, like the video before this one, the emotions, like our emotions, are core values and what matters to us and what we love, what we hate, or what we fear, and what's okay with us, and what's not okay with us. So it's kind of like our own soul preferences, heartfelt preferences, and it's sometimes when you get too emotional about something, it's not only the false perception that this thing is part of just the holographic universe that we live in, and it's just like it's not a big deal, and then not only that, but you get so emotionally attached to it. So the ego false perception in emotional way, it translates into attachment, into a negative way of attaching, a negative way of relating to something. And so, yeah, this is what I mean when I say ego. It's just the false way that's something that is not true, something that is part of the illusion. So that's what I mean when I say ego. And then there's the third thing when I talk about ego, which is not ego at all, but we mistake it as ego, and we forget that it's just how things are. It's just how it's the nature of consciousness itself, and the nature of the evolutionary way of just of things, with how things are, which is the true identification, which is self-realization. And it's not ego, and but it's something happens to kind of like it, which is called some people refer to it as the enlightened ego, and I'm going to talk about that later in one of our talks. um, but um, but this, the third thing is owning your soul truth, and knowing, completely knowing, self-realization, completely knowing who you are relative to consciousness, or what's your embodiment, or what's your life, what your role in life is at this lifetime, at this, in any situation, not just the lifetime. um so so this is what I want to just clear out before we even dive into what the what the ego transmitter has to do with emotional intelligence and everything. So yeah, let me just turn off that one. That's it. I've notified everything, did everything that I need to do. So, as you can see, I have like really great fashion. It's my lazy pants tonight. Um, so yeah, that's out of the uh, of the start. I just want to make it clear that when I say ego, I'm focusing on that that ego that is relative to spirituality um, and self-realization. Emotional intelligence is being able to use your emotions, being able to employ them in the best way for you, being able to ride them. And I always say that I don't know if I am the one who came up with this concept, or like who like I received it or I read it somewhere from someone, but it's I say that the ocean of emotion. I always say that the ocean of emotion. And when I do my prayers, or when I do affirmations, I say, uh, please God, let me be able to ride and navigate the ocean of emotions, the ebbs and the tide, and the flows and the tsunamis sometimes of the emotions, because it's something that is so unstable, and it's so fast and quick. And what is even faster than that is, if you agree with me when I explained emotions and the ego. Yesterday, I said that it's so the ego is the identification in your head at your like crown chakra level, and then our emotions at the heart level, and it's so much more deeper. So it's the higher you go, the faster the movement of energy is. Although it's actually um, very peaceful and harmonious and everything, but it's fast because there is no time. So there's not even time. Like things at at an astral level, there's no time. Like you can think of a, of 1,000 idea at the same time. Yes, you're not aware, like this is your super consciousness and your subconsciousness, which can operate in so many things at the same time. Our awake consciousness or aware consciousness, or alert, I would say that's more accurate. The alert consciousness only can focus ideally only on one or two, maybe, I don't know, three things maximum at the same time. And of course you can develop your multitask abilities and everything, but it's not our alert and awake state of being is not meant for us to think of a million things at the same time. This is a job for the subconscious, for the superconscious mind to do. And so that's what I mean when I say intelligence. It's like being, first of all, being able to know what emotions are. So I'm not like completely identifying with it. So that's the first of emotional intelligence. You would find some people who are not necessarily like spiritually aware. They didn't do any inner work or anything, but they're just emotionally intelligent. They're able to, I don't know, somehow. That's what I've seen, in working with people, and just being observing people, even if I didn't work with them necessarily, like my family and my friends, and even the way that I notice myself. I noticed that it's some people are just aware. They're just aware. I guess it's like a soul level. Like some people are advanced in a, I don't know, in a soul level or something. But some people just say no. They didn't do any of the work or anything, but they know. They know stuff. I mean, they are aware of that this thing is emotions, and they don't get too attached. And some people maybe call them cold. um, some people think of them like they're too mental, or they're too logical, they're too but it's just because you're intelligent, and because you're intelligent, you you can see it. You can see that it's all part. Oh, I'm getting excited. You can see that it's all part of the illusion. Why get attached to your feelings? Whatever. If a new idea that is better comes up, let's do that. Why do we just, why do we keep on doing that same old thing that keeps us make us feel bad when we have this awesome new idea that we can do? So they're not attached. They're able to move through life so much more smoother, and um, yeah, lucky. But yeah, that's how so, some of us are. So the intelligence level varies, kind of like the IQ, but scratch the Q. Not the intelligence questionnaire. It's the intelligence emotion. I don't know. So yeah, it's the level of the emotional intelligence of someone is different, and it depends on the experiences of life. It depends a lot on astrology too, like your south nodes, your ascending, stuff like that, if you're into astrology. It depends on a lot of things. um, but yeah, also like the way that you are brought up to be aware of your emotions or not, or and how to deal with your emotions. Some of us are brought up to know how to deal with their emotions, that, oh yeah, this is how I feel now, I have to do this and I'm gonna feel better, and it's easy. Some of us are like, they don't know. All they know in life is that they need to eat and sleep and wake up and work and or study, and then sleep again, and then eat, and then go to, you know, socialize, and then sleep again. That's it. You know, we're not taught, we're not, the no one is helping us to harness and to be attached and use. And it's kind of like a muscle. If you don't use it, it's just gonna, you know, it's just gonna be like not a muscle even. It's gonna turn into like fat tissue. So yeah, um, that's it. It's emotional intelligence. It's different. So you can definitely acquire this emotional intelligence, I believe, through using the ego transmuter. And it makes you aware. It makes you just awakens your senses, open your senses to and your logic, and it's kind of like holistic. It's because the the way that I put it, it ties everything together. So I hope so. Like I hope it really does bring closure. And I feel like, you know, it doesn't just bring closure like just like that from one shot, unless you at the end, at the last of the steps of the ego transmuter is choosing choosing. And then the extra bonus step that I have is actually writing down what you are committed to stop doing, and what you are committed to starting to practice to make this experience forever, you know, just to fix, to just end that old habit or the old trigger, to just get it out of your head and not let it trigger you and push your button and control you. Instead, just being at peace with it, at peace, really, really being at peace, and just, you know, be in the moment. And really, it increases your ability to see things as okay, it's an illusion. It's an illusion. It's this reality is something that I create. Well, wait a second. Because I felt this, because I would have reacted, if I would know, if I'd known, and that's where intelligence comes in. If I would have known this, that the truth of who I am and the truth of what I'm feeling is actually this, then I would have made another choice, and that other choice that I would helping me would have helped me to create a better version of my reality, of my experience. And so that's intelligence. It's employing this awareness. Okay, yes, we do have awareness. We do have the ability to be open and connected, and we meditate and we do all of this. But I feel like one of the reasons that I also want everyone to use this, it's because it doesn't need, it's kind of like a meditation. I would say it's a meditation of a sort, because it really does require your focus. And I talked about it in the first video and I explained it. It requires your focus, because each and every person that I've did this with, and even with me when I do it, when I come to the second, when I start going into the second and the third steps, I just, like, you know, crazy things happen. Crazy thing, because it's a tool that really does break through old rhythms and old patterns, and it turns things around, and that takes a lot of energy, especially if the patterns are like years and years established into your psyche, and you don't know when it began, even like maybe lifetimes and lifetimes ago. You know, and it might be not yours, especially if you're an empath. The pattern that you act out, sometimes it's not yours. Sometimes it's just because you're an empath and your senses are just so open and you're so connected, and you, like your lover or your, you know, like your mother, your family, someone who you really, really care for and love, and you so much want to include them in your experience, in your being. You start acting out their own set of, you know, perspectives and beliefs, and you act on their thoughts instead of thinking for yourself. And so the ego transmuter comes down to that. It makes you see that, wait a second, am I acting according to my own soul truth, Or am I just acting to please someone, or am I acting, really literally acting someone else's even life out? Is this my life? Is it someone else's life, you know? And it does that. It does that. I love that it does that. It just, you know, makes you see, detach and see. And that detachment is and even the detachment, when I say detachment, is just a metaphor. You don't detach, you just kind of like turn your focus around, because I don't believe that there is detachment actually. Also, that there is no such thing as attachment or detachment. It's just that we can be so identified and focused, and we put our energy in a certain direction. So it's more like direction, you know, correcting the direction of the flow of your energy, more than it being attached or detached. And so it makes the direction of the energy more towards the truth of who you are. And this is something that I wanted to talk about, which is also which I said before, that ego is always mistaken for the us owning our truth, our soul path, our choices in life. And it's important for us to make that choices, and these choices are gonna seem unnecessary to other people. If it's a spiritual choice, it's never gonna make sense to anyone, because they cannot see it. You're telling someone that, you know, it's like you're in your own vision, it's in your own guidance, your own intuition is telling you um, to go to a certain place, and you're like just, you know, pointing out to someone, and you're like, look, yes, this is where I'm going, I can see it. And it's because your vision is so strong, and your angels are showing you stuff, and they're not showing any other person. They're showing you because it's you. No one's supposed to see it but you. And you're like, okay, yes, I'm gonna go and try to explain it to people. Like, are you crazy? There's nothing here. It's desert. What are you going? You know, you're like, no, I can see it. There's water. And no, it's a mirage. And you're like, no, I believe. Story of my life. And so yeah, it makes you, you know, the owning your truth makes you strong, you know, even though other people would think you're crazy, and they're like, no, you're crazy, don't do this. Owning your soul truth can be really you know and I think it's not, it can be, is just not meant for anyone to understand it. So don't worry about anyone understanding it, and just sit with yourself and check in with yourself, with the ego transmuter, and see about your feelings. Is my feeling true? Is it just a mirage, or is my feeling true? It's kind of like that check that you can do before making any other choice. And so yeah, emotional intelligence is something that you can acquire. Yes, some of people are just born with the ultimate, you know, power of having that kind of intelligence, but some of us have to work their muscles. And if you want me to work your muscles with you, I'm here. um, Definitely check the links in the description. You'll find a link to my coaching website, or right now it's not a website, it's a Facebook page, and you can talk to me there, and tell me how I can help you. And you can email me at Ogana. I'm gonna leave also the my email there, Ogana's World, or Ogana.world, I think. No, I changed that email once again. I want to put that email, so you can email me if you want to work with me, if you want us to work together to get those emotional intelligence muscles on, and just learn also more about the ego transmitter, how you can apply it in your own life, and how you can, if you are maybe a life coach, or a spiritual counselor, or astrologer, anyone who's working with people at a, you know, at a personal level, um, they can use it for, to help people go through issues, go through things. I know that a lot of people can help. So as much people who are, light workers, who are really able to teach this, not just apply it in their lives, but also teach it, that's going to be amazing. I mean, let's do that. So that's it for tonight for this talk. I wanted it to be, less than last night and the night before. It was so long. I was like, oh my God, I think I'm boring people out, and I keep talking and talking. I could talk for hours. So let's just be more like, honoring of other people's time. And yeah, I can also direct my energy somewhere else and make more fun stuff in my life. So what did we talk about today? I told you about the my my definition of what ego is, and how I mean that it's specifically the spiritual side of ego, and the whole kind of like holistic side to it, which is not just the pride and the narcissism. It's more deeper than this, which is the false perception, and how that, how that we don't need to be afraid of the ego so much, because part of it, it's also that not the ego itself, but the identification itself. There's a false identification, and there's a true identification, which is self-realization, being able to know who we are truly, and to know what life is about. And then we dived into emotional intelligence. We talked about um, um, how it's really empowering. It's an empowering thing when you own your feelings, when you realize your soul truth, and that, that ego transmitter can be a check for you to check in with your intuition, to check if this is false, mirage, illusion, or this is really true for me. And so you can make your decisions. That's what emotional intelligence is. That's the conclusion of our talk today. The emotional intelligence is being able to really employ your senses, your empathic senses, and your just your awareness, and really know that emotions are something that is there, and it's up to us to use it or abuse it, or let us abuse us. Actually, we can get, especially us ladies, I think, or like people who are in, have more in their balance of being, they have more like femininity into them. They're like, so, which also I call them unicorns. You can, like, we can be so like, ah, when you get passionate, you're like, that's it. Everything is like not black and white. Everything is either rainbow or not. And if it's not a rainbow, I don't want it. Yeah, serious stuff. So yeah, how can we like really, if you would, be able to ride that ocean of emotion, that and the waves and the stuff like that, that, like, just like, instability, that's the nature of emotion. It's unstable. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. So how can we really peacefully do that? The ego transmitter is definitely something that's gonna help you. It's gonna help you so much. So I really encourage you to go back to the videos that I've talked about before, that I talked in at I need to stop talking. So yeah, encourage you to go and watch and subscribe. I'm gonna be talking. This is countdown until 2016. Today is 10 days until 2016. Can you believe that? Only 10 days. This year was so beautiful. And yeah, what am I gonna talk about in the next session? Is going to be, let's get the big book out. 22, 23. Tomorrow's the 23rd, and it's going to be ego and emotional freedom. And there's a big difference, between the emotional intelligence and the emotional freedom. It's not the same. It sounds the same, kind of like the same, but there's a difference. This is difference, and I'm going to talk to you about that difference and more about freedom and how can we be free from the ego, really, really. I mean, really. That's it for me tonight. For now, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe, share if you know that someone can really benefit from this. Why not share, or just let them get into the Twitter feed or the Facebook. I'm not much in the Facebook page, but I will hopefully I will get more info there. But definitely, if you want to get in touch with me, and the page that I'm always active on is Instagram, and it's just at Ogana. I'm gonna also give you the link in the description. That's it. You have a great, great, great time, day, night, whatever, whenever you are. Hiiigh World, infinite possibilities. Bye, bye, bye. I love you. I'm gonna miss you. No, really, this is